Hey guys, Professor here, and today I'm going to give you guys a walkthrough of how to kill Heroic Gul'dan. As you know, Tomb of Sargeras will be upon us in just 1 month or 2, and you need to kill him before in order to get this ahead of the curve achievement. So, to watch this cinematic in-game, you need to kill him in-game instead of going on to YouTube to watch some other guys killing him.
Now, mortals, follow me.
To kill Gul'dan in Heroic. Alright, some overall general tips for this fight. Remember, this is not a DPS check. Focus on the mechanics. Make sure that you survive this fight as long as possible and make sure you don't kill your teammates by failing the mechanics. I think the first kill we got as a guild during our progression on this fight, the average DPS was about like 450k or something like that. So if you're not getting 600k DPS, don't worry too much about that. This is not the reason you're not killing this boss. If you're already here, DPS is not your problem. Coordination and killing the mechanics are your problem. With that out of the way, let's talk about phase 1. I think you guys are already pretty familiar with this phase, so my tips are more just for how to improve your performance and making things a little bit smoother. So as you all know, Gul'dan will go into his little bubble after like 20 seconds of the fight, so don't waste your CDs on Gul'dan off the get-go. Try to save them for the second ad, which has the highest priority, the caster one. And then for the extra button ability throughout the raid, well, throughout phase 1 and phase 2, that buff will be cancelled out after you got fire damage, and the liquid hellfire is a raid-wide unavoidable damage that is also fire, so make sure you don't use that ability right before the fire. Alright, so then we transit into P2, and during this time there's a little downtime. You can chat with your guild, drink some water, get some food, whatever. P2 has 3 main mechanics: Fieldbound, Big Ad, and Eyes of Gul'dan. Right off the get-go, we have a marketplace near the center of the room, because for the first Fieldbound, people won't get knocked back. So we need the same target to run towards to, otherwise people will run randomly and it will be a big mess. For the Big Ad, he has an ability that needs to be interrupted, otherwise the raid damage will be just unmanageable. However, you don't want to interrupt it too soon and too often, because every time he is getting interrupted, he will get a buff and make your tank's life much harder. So, you want to have a dedicated interruption team on the Big Ad to make sure the spell doesn't go off, but also it is casted at least halfway through the casting bar. As you can see, our guild is not doing exactly like this right now because we have Gul'dan on farm, so we don't worry that much about it. However, if you're still on progression, I highly recommend you to have a dedicated team of doing this. For the empowered Fieldbounds, you will get knocked back quite a bit of distance, so you don't want to have your back near the edge of the platform, otherwise you will get knocked out of the platform and die, and your teammates can't even be-res you. The Fieldbound needs at least 3 people to soak the damage in order to have everyone survive. Therefore, you want to help your teammate to break the bound, but you don't want to help the wrong guys. Who are the wrong guys? The tanks are definitely the wrong guys. They have their own way to break the Fieldbounds, so don't run towards the tank, otherwise he will kill you, and it's your fault. Other classes like the Demon Hunter has Netherwalk or some other similar ability that makes them immune to damage for a short period of time. So if you're one of these classes and you plan to solo your bound, make sure that your teammates know about this. Otherwise, some innocent soul may run towards you wanting to help you, but get themselves killed because you didn't. Finally, the Eyes of Gul'dan. These are the highest priority target during P2, and you want to kill them as fast as possible. In order to do so, you have some tricks up your sleeves. For example, as a DPS, you will have that dilution of time or whatever that is called as the extra button, which will give you a haste buff. You want to save this one for the eyes, so don't use them just randomly during P2, save them before the eyes appear and use it. And also use your personal cooldowns. For example, like as a Demon Hunter, I always save up my eye beam and synchronize that with the buff to kill the eyes as soon as possible. And speaking of that extra buff, you may wonder like, how about Liquid Hellfire? Doesn't that cancel out the buff? Don't worry about this, because the order of the spells Gul'dan is casting, the Liquid Hellfire always becomes before the eye, so you will get the whole duration of the buff. And there you have it, the 3 mechanics during P2. P2 is hard not because any of these individual mechanics is hard. P2 is hard because the timing of when these mechanics happens. You can usually find that the field bounce comes right after the ice bomb, especially during the second part of phase 2. And in this kind of situation, you still want to target the ice first before you try to break other people out, because if you don't do so, the ice will wipe your raid. And also during the empowered eye, that one single big eye, you want your range DPS to be spread out, otherwise they will kill each other, because the big eye, the empowered eye, will put a AoE debuff on the target people. And also make sure you have a clean slate when you are transitioning. And the transition happens when Gul'dan is 40% health. As you can see here, our guild didn't really do a very nice job here. We still have one big ant left up. However, I think Blizzard is showing us some mercy because this transition phase is pretty long. So that guild will give you enough time to either deal with the big ant or the eyes or any field bounce that are left over. P3, finally, yeah! So we now just burn the boss down, right? No, you will still get a wipe if you don't pay attention to the mechanics during P3. There are 3 main mechanics: Flame of Sagaris, Eye of Gul'dan, and Well of Souls. You will wipe if they are not dealt properly. It is tricky during P3 because the boss is on such a low health, and it makes us easily tunnel vision of just burning the boss, so that we forget the mechanics. But it's right because of this that will wipe your raid. The most important mechanic during P3 is the Flame of Sagaris. This is the #1 cause of why guilds are not passing through this phase and not being able to kill Gul'dan. So if you get targeted by Flame of Sagaris, you need to get away from the raid ASAP. Stop healing, stop DPSing, stop doing whatever you are doing, and just get away from the raid. You can put the fire either along the edge or put them into a nice concentrated patch. Don't try to just run aimlessly and to your full speed, because that will leave an even larger area of the fire. Remember, this is the most important thing during P3. Even if the boss is down at 1% of health and you get the flame, run away. Run away, little girl, run away. The second mechanic is the Eye of Gul'dan, the empowered Eye of Gul'dan. This is the same as P2. However, the damage could be a little bit higher. I'm not entirely sure about this, but it's not a big deal. So you want to deal with this one as soon as possible, of course, and we usually save hero on the second spawn of the empowered Eye of Gul'dan, because at this time Gul'dan himself will be on probably low health, so some of the classes may be able to execute him, and that syncs very well with hero. The eye can be ignored if Gul'dan is at super low health, like 2-3% low. But you need to make sure you kill Gul'dan first before you get DPS'd out by the eye. The last one is the Well of Souls. This is usually for the range and healers, but as a melee DPS, if you find the souls are not soaked all together, like the souls are the swirling things over the middle of the room, in that situation, you still want to help to soak the souls, because if you don't do that, Black Harvest will get empowered and makes your healers unhappy. And speaking of Black Harvest, you want to rotate your raid defenses skills for this one. You don't want to dump everything during one Black Harvest so you run out of juice during the second one or the third one. So make sure you have this coordinated out throughout your team, and also this is a good time to use a personal defensive or use your health stone. Alright, as you can see, we are nearly killing Gul'dan over here. Still, we're not ignoring the flames. The flames can never be ignored, even if the boss is at 1% health. However, we are ignoring the eye right here, because we can out DPS the eye and kill Gul'dan first. Finally, no matter P2 or P3, as a DPS or healer, never stand with a tank. That will make you getting kicked out by your raid. Alright, Gul'dan's killed, and I use my coin, and of course I get AP power. Our guild Mercs for Hire is actually recruiting people. This is our information. We're an alliance on Windrunner and Daromir. This is our raid time and our GM. Please leave a comment if you want to join. Subscribe, and Professor signing out.